And speaking of green, with the stroke of a pen, President Trump today greenlit one of the biggest shifts in U.S. drug policy in more than half a century. Trump signed an executive order directing federal agencies to reclassify cannabis from the most restrictive Schedule I classification that it currently shares with drugs like heroin and ecstasy to a less dangerous Schedule III substance.
That's a good one.
The move would loosen long-standing restrictions on marijuana and open new avenues for medical research, Trump said.
This reclassification order will make it far easier to conduct marijuana-related medical research, allowing us to study benefits, potential dangers, and future treatments. It doesn't legalize marijuana in any way, shape, or form, and in no way sanctions its use as a recreational drug. It has nothing to do with it.
Now, the Drug Enforcement Agency must finalize the process, which actually got started under the Biden administration, but it wasn't completed by the time President Biden left office. Industry experts say the move would be a big boom for the legal cannabis business. It would allow all new tax deductions and banking access to legal operators that have previously been closed off to them. Some say it could even bring in big pharma into the weed business. The move inches the federal government closer to what some states have already done. Dozens of states have approved marijuana for medical and recreational use. That approval that is reflected in recent Gallup polling, with American support for marijuana legalization growing from just 36% in 2005 to 64% last year. But there is still heated division on this topic, even within Trump's own Republican ranks. Nearly half the Republican Senate conference, sent a sternly worded letter to President Trump today, saying marijuana should remain classified as a Schedule I drug like heroin due to its high potential for abuse and its lack of FDA-approved use. The letter added, marijuana has long-term effects on brain health, including permanent IQ loss, when a person starts using marijuana at a young age. All right, for more on all this, let's go to my next guest, Dr. Adi Jaffe, who's an expert on mental health and addiction. He's a former addict himself and the author of Unhooked, Free Yourself from Addiction Forever. Doctor, you don't think this is a good move. Why not?
I think it's a mixed move, and people may misunderstand what this means by Trump's action. He actually said it, but just to be really, really clear, this is not telling people that marijuana is substantially safer than people thought it was before. It's almost a little bit of administrative catch-up in the sense that both the science and traditional society have left behind the notion that marijuana, cannabis, or the active ingredient THC potentially has absolutely no uses. It's used in cancer. It's used in other medical cases for really relevant medical uses. Making it Schedule I makes it really, really hard to conduct research. Or some of that point the Republicans made about the FDA not approving it, Schedule I is actually typically a pretty big hurdle to cross for the FDA to approve it. Again, for everybody to really, really understand, right? Moving from Schedule I to Schedule III is not telling people everybody should go out and consider marijuana something incredibly safe.
Yeah, we just heard the president say that. This doesn't mean you should use it recreationally, although it appears everybody does, because take a look at this graph. A study from Carnegie Mellon found that daily marijuana use has now outpaced daily alcohol use in the United States. I mean, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, man, you guys have done amazing research for this, Elizabeth. I really love it. I was actually just about to say that for the first time, we're seeing alcohol use in the U.S. drop, and a lot of people cite that alone, but they don't show the graph you just showed about marijuana use. And what's happened is marijuana use is caught up to alcohol use. So all the, sober movements and all these kind of movements about reduction of alcohol use don't take into account that oftentimes people make up for that with cannabis. You mentioned my own addiction, the work that I do. I do want to caution people to the following. Whether you use alcohol, whether you use cannabis, whether you use other drugs to deal with uncomfortable life circumstances, the risk isn't necessarily in the substance itself. There are some developmental research lines that show that starting to use cannabis at a very early age can be damaging in its own right. We have to be responsible for the use that is happening. Allowing marijuana to be researched more can give us some more evidence to look at, but this is not a carte blanche. Marijuana is now safe. Everybody go and smoke a joint.
Well, it's most definitely not safe. We are hearing reports of marijuana-induced psychosis, that people who start smoking, especially adolescent kids who start smoking marijuana earlier, can develop schizophrenia. I mean, marijuana that they're using today is not what people were smoking back in the 60s. This stuff is much, much more potent.
It's not. And each one of those things you just said is important for people to understand. People have panic attacks and have schizophrenic and schizoaffective and psychotic breaks because of high cannabis use, especially when the cannabis is of high potency like it is nowadays.
Right.
You're absolutely right that in people predisposed to schizophrenia, especially earlier use increases the risk of that. And these are real risks that we need to pay attention to.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.